Can see me? Can see the thing? Okay, let's start.
Yeah.
Hi everybody, this is Samantha from Glasfil. So how's your week? And today it's a real life, a live stream. My videographer alias insisted that today we have to do a live stream. So it's a very raw experience for me. It's the first time I'm doing a live stream right now. So I'm very excited because I have a lot of things to share today. Excuse me if let's say everything got a little bit of hiccups here and there, but this is why we want to do a live stream, is because we want to see there is any live questions that you want to ask, or any live basically any live situations that you want to share to us as well. And if I have the time, I will be able to take this some few minutes to actually go through on Facebook what are the live questions that you have, and see if we can actually help you solve the problems. But mainly today, we wanted to have a sharing session where we're going to talk a little bit about manufacturing pain points. It's end of the year. Tomorrow is Christmas. I'm feeling all Christmassy right now. And it's probably the last 5 days of 2019. It has been a very exciting year for Glasfil because there is a lot of changes here and there. There is a lot of great movements that we started up. Like for example, we started our YouTube channels. We created this little space called Play Up for sustainability. We changed our tagline from sustainability from used to be a reliable polymer designer to a sustainable polymer designer, because all this while we really want to give a very strong message that even though you are making plastics or we are creating plastics, we are a manufacturing that is very responsible about how are we going to end the lives of the plastics and how are we going to educate our customers about the plastic usage. So we are considered sort of have been in the industry for so many years, probably 25 years in plastic injection molding. So I would say that we have already surpassed injection molding. We have already go through another step more, which is also becoming a plastic designer. So we design all sorts of plastics, be it, you want it to be biodegradable, like I said, sustainable. We also do plastics that are designing for special niche market, like we do a lot of projects on like metal replacements, also in the F&B industries, also for automotive industries, and along the journey that we have with our customers, we are our business partners, we learn a lot because there are a lot of new materials that are in the market that we try to upkeep with, and we try to also give that sort of information to all our customers here, or you guys here. Basically today we want to talk about the pain points. We are a manufacturer as well, so I have the same pain points as you guys have the same pain point as a manufacturer. You have to understand, we came this far for so many years. We grew from a manufacturing from a one shop lots to a plant of 3. We actually learned a lot along the way, and we do not want to let go of whatever that we have learned. We would like to put all this sharing out to you guys to understand that the pain that you guys have is the pain that we have as well. But we overcome it one by one through very good partnerships with our business partners, or I would say at the term suppliers, and also through very good supports with our customers and the customers that really like to work with us. So let's get on to our very first pain point. I listed a few here for you guys to to roughly digest, it may not be your pain point, but certainly it at one point of time with this journey, it's my pain point. And I hope that if you resonate with it, you can actually give comments, and you can actually also give questions if you have any doubts about what manufacturing you're currently involved in, and I don't know, maybe Glasfil will be able to help in some sort of way. I'm not sure, but it's something that we can work together on, and hopefully whatever that I share today, it's something that you gain out of it. And if you do, give me some comments on motivations in the comments below. I'll be very glad to read and reply them. And so let's move on to the pain number one. So pain number one would be, I would list it as a big pain, would be we will not be able to get the right suppliers or business partners in the manufacturing business. So if you understand, manufacturing is not like a trading house or it's like a service provider. Very much often they rely a lot on the interchain connected of the entire supply chain environment that brings the ups and the downs of a manufacturing. So what I really resonate about in this thing is I really love to have very good business partners in my business. I have really good suppliers that support us and understand what we need. And a lot of manufacturing they fail is because a lot of time they go into the one very first corner, or they go into very first thing that they do not select their supplier or material suppliers or their business partner well enough. They do not know. The first thing is probably they do not know what they want in their manufacturing, or probably they do not know what sort of business partner are supposed to be in. A lot of people base on buying and supplying just based on one criteria, which I believe everyone will know. It's many manufacturings right now, or probably a lot of people in the business right now, they buy based on price. And to me, yeah, to a certain extent, yes, it's true. Of course, we have to get the right price and a fair price, I would say. But not very often that all our suppliers is always on the lowest end. And a lot of suppliers that work with us, we actually value that support more, because a lot of time when the manufacturing is in an urgency, for example, we are rushing to deliver some products to our customers, and we know that the impact of that particular product is towards the entire logistic chain, whether they are catching a flight or they're catching a carriage or a ship to be shipped out to the export to be exported. A lot of times we know that there are sort of urgencies, we need support. And most of the time we realize that those people with a lower price bottom, they could not make that kind of support because literally there is no margin left for them to make that support. So what they will do is most of the time there will be delays. So what we value a lot is we want to pick customers that understand our business urgency. So very often last time we used to work in that mode, and now we don't anymore, because we really want to choose partners that are really, really good, that are, be able to support our urgency. So I would think that price is not one of the main thing, but a lot of times it's the support and the understanding of how our business works is very, very important. So I want to give a cue to alias. If let's say there is any questions coming in through live, let us know. Then if let's say we can answer them, we'll answer them right away. And so moving on, it would be the pain point number 2. In a manufacturing setup, it's a very fun thing. If you can see, sometimes when we call fun, it's because when you have the time, you don't have the availability. When you have the availability, you do not have the time. For example, you have the capacity, but you do not have the business coming in. When there is a business coming in, you do not have the capacity. So it's a very funny chicken and egg thing that happens in a manufacturing setup, where timing and availability is not always at what you want. Or I would say that sometimes you have actually do plan your production, and that's not what it actually turns out. So the plan and the actual is often sometimes off. Well, my advice is, okay, even though we can't actually plan them, where there is like case of emergency or urgencies, what we can is, number one, I would like to make sure that we plan as much as possible. We still need to plan in a way. And number two is to stick as much close as the plan, to be really, really disciplined and diligent about the plan. And number three, if there's an urgency happen, we need to have a response team. And we are gladful enough, 2018, 2019 and 2020, it has been really, really hectic. We actually grew like double our size in a very, very short time frame. There is a lot of chaos, and there is a lot of internal issues that actually happens, but along the way we learned that we need to have a very good response systems, and the response systems also come together hand in hand with our suppliers, our customers, and our internal team. So these are a few things that I realize. Also, again, the suppliers play a very, very main role, and we also hope that we are actually doing this to our customers as well. Like, we are being a very good subcontract manufacturers or sub-manufacturers for our customers. So all this time, we are trying to make sure that, okay, what is the urgency there? The urgency there, would it be like there is a shipment to catch, or there is a plane to catch for delivery? And how can we do extra works, or how can we whip up extra time to our customers so that they can fulfill their customers' needs, and so on so forth, that they can produce a good products to our customer and not, failing the expectation. A lot of time, I have the urgency, and I would say that I would have the urgency to actually help businesses in the sense that where expectation is need to be met. So I'm really glad that a lot of time my customers actually has raised the bar of the expectation that our company has, and they're trying to push us really, really tough on how we're going to perform. And that's how we want to serve all our customers as well as how we expect our suppliers to come forward. So coming back to the pain number two, it will be the timing and availability. We plan, and the three things that I've mentioned just now, number one is whether are we planning good enough? Number two, are we sticking to our plan? And number three is whether we have a response team to do the emergency and the contingency. So that goes to pain number two. So what's up with number three would be the pain number three. I would say that it's also still very much deal with our suppliers or our third-party companies. So many of the times, let me just give you a true situation here. Many of the times, our customers gave a lot of jobs and projects to us, meaning to say that they rely on us as a third-party company. When it comes to us as a third-party subcontractors or sub-manufacturer, there was certain expectation that we will be able to, solve a lot of problems. But a lot of times when that happened in, other subcontractors would be, they do not have a clear expectations, like what sort of expectations supposed to be met. And a lot of times that we do not pin or write it down like what our customer needs. So from the past and previous experiences, like it's very haywire, at the end of the day, if one thing goes wrong, the other person start blaming each other, and that's not my problem, that's not my fault. And when we push the problem to the suppliers, then the supplier will push us back and say, okay, hey, this is your problem, we can't do it, and we are backing out. And that very much of time is one of the big pain of what manufacturers are. I believe those people, either we're in SMEs or in the very huge companies, you would have the same problem like we do. And a lot of time we get really, really frustrated, but at the end of the day, we managed to find somebody that would stood up and say, okay, hey, this is what I'm going to do. This is what I'm going to help you guys out. And hopefully we stick on as good business partner. And that's what we, through that big story that we have, or sometimes these are the scenario that transform us into becoming that sort of person as well. We wanted to be that kind of partners that can actually help you solve problems, that can actually stood up and stand right next to you, hand holding you guys with the problems that you have, so that you can solve your problems, instead of just say, okay, this is not a problem, this is not within the contract frame, and I'm walking away. So this is not what we are going by, and this is not what we are doing all the while. Most of the time, we really want to handhold you guys and hopefully be able to help you deliver a very good product to your customers. And our most greatest achievements, or I would say the satisfaction, comes from when you guys can, like some of our customers will actually send us videos of how our products actually work on their parts and how our products actually work on the actual scenario, because sometimes we go on like we have examples of we are supplying to like some of the real life situations, like in the manufacturing floors, or also like real life explosive or real life situation where they put things into test, and we're really happy that those things are being used. And one of the parts is from us, because not all of the parts, because we're a plastic manufacturer, not all of the parts are from us, but we would be really delighted. Like some of the time when we're riding in a car, we know that, okay, that part is actually coming from us because we supply to automotive. We are super excited, and that gets us really, really satisfied. And very, most of the time, our customers would give us like photos or videos, footage of how good we are, and that really, really motivates us. So I would say that pain number 3 comes from also getting a third-party supplier that doesn't actually are not qualified to solve a problem. So sometimes when you rely on just price alone is not enough. So sometimes you know that paying a little more will be able to help you quantify and qualify certain suppliers that are able to work with you on a long-term partnership. So I cherish that very much, and I really hope that and one thing, it becomes one of the search criteria in looking for suppliers. So I don't really mean that it's just only for manufacturing, but it's also for service line, or if you're actually in the servicing line or the trading line, it works the same. So we value that sort of business relationship, and now very often, because of the globalization, I would say, and price becomes very, very sensitive, where you can actually check price from just a few buttons. Like, it's unlike other time, like the olden days where you have to send out emails, wait for quotations. A lot of times the price is already out in public. So a lot of times we have to understand that that's not really one of the main criteria. And in Glasfil, in our supplier selections, we actually have a very tedious process to go through, and we need to make sure that the company is legit, so on and so forth, to be called as our suppliers. And we also go through the same process with our customers. So you can understand we're like a middle person having both of these things. We have our suppliers, we have our customers who treat us like the suppliers that has a certain standards to meet. So that's pain number 3. So okay, so let's move on to pain number 4. Would be I would think that this would be one of the pain that people see it and they know it, but a lot of time they don't prioritize them, which is the quality of the products. In a lot of times in manufacturing, people want or tend to want the best, but they do not. They tell them that, okay, I want to have a very good products, but many of them do not prioritize them in the list. For example, I'll just give you a very, very simple example. If you were to buy 2 products, a same product, okay, A with the cost of like 10 ringgit and a B with the cost of 20 ringgits. And when at the end of the day, when you want to make a choice, very often many people go to A. It's the same product, but it's just different price. I would say that it's the same kind of product, but it's a different price, different quality, different price. But at the end of the day, many people will actually want to make a cut and get on product number A, which is 10 ringgit. The reason why is because a lot of times they do not want to have like they sort of like, out of the moment that they want to make a choice, they want to push down that priority that initially they want to say, okay, I want to get something that is very quality. like good stuff, good quality. But at the end of the day, what they boil down to is like, okay, never mind, I'll just forget about the quality, just get whatever that is cheapest in the market. So a lot of times that happens in our product systems, that also happens in our quality systems, that happens in our entire manufacturing logistic chain. We made that mistake before. Like I said, I'm not going to be like saying that, okay, Glasfil is going to be like the best or, the highest quality also, but we made that mistake before. We sort of go through this phase last time, probably 10 years ago during a downturn, that we tried to like cut off a lot of like quality checks in our product out for our customers, but due to like cutting costs, and when money comes into the mood of it, it becomes so sensitive. It was a downturn. So when every time there is a downturn, it becomes really, really sensitive that, you want to remove some of the costs of it, that you want to compromise some of the quality for it. And when your customers are making a request, or probably sometimes we call it an unreasonable request on the quality, you will tell them, okay, hey, you are paying me peanuts, but you expect something that is that is very high quality. But at the end of the day, we realize that when the quality issue comes, it sort of ruins all the relationship, whether it's going to be the business to business relationship or it's your internal business relationship. Because once the business and business relationship is affected, there's complaints coming out from customers. What happens is, in the production line as well, there will be internal issues where you quarrel about whose fault it is. Like, why do we make this kind of decision that causes that much of damage? So when a quality issue comes in, that damage is actually more than the money that you pay. It's more than the 10 ringgit that you see, especially in a manufacturing line, especially, and we are actually serving, the supply chain of some other bigger chain. So you have to understand, we are supplying quality stuffs to people that are involved in either safety, in quality, or in some other modes. So a lot of times that we have to be that ethical person, or the person that actually make the call saying that, hey, quality is something that we will never compromise. Because we understand, even if let's say we want to compromise on the quality, the impact is actually way bigger in terms of our business, in terms of internal issues, in terms of the reject rates that we are prone to have, in terms of the impact that is coming back to us it's a wave. It comes back in a wave of a reject. It comes back in a wave of reputations. It comes back in a waves of branding and tarnishes a lot of things that we have built throughout the 25 years. So talking about the money sense, that 10 ringgit means nothing. So how are you going to qualify or ask yourself whether you're attaching to a good quality products or not? Most of the time, you will want to understand the quality system behind it. When I say quality system behind it, would be like, what sort of quality checks do they have in place? Are they having an ISO certificate, and are they implementing the ISO certificates in place? A lot of times what I realize is many people have an ISO certificate, but they don't really go through the process. It's something that it's worth understanding it about. So we do that to our suppliers as well. We want to make sure that our suppliers has a certificate in place. And our customers always wanted us to have an ISO certificate in place, where we actually diligently following through. And today itself, we actually have our first fire drill. It's because we are moving towards our ISO 14001 and also our 45001. So moving forward with that, we're really excited. There's tons of paperwork to do. There's tons of legislation that we have to go through, but we're actually going through it's like a good sort of pain. So we're going through it like diligently, following the entire process, how the fire drill process is supposed to be. Why are we educating everybody about the fire drills? And trust me, not many people are doing this in real life, because we're following through a system. That's why we have it. So like I said, the system is very, very important. When there is a quality issue, what is the system to react to that, and what is the reaction of the system, and what is the logistic control, and what sort of next prevention system that is in place to make sure that the risk is actually mitigated. So because when you're in the business, there's always business risk. So when we're supplying to customers, the customers has business risk as well. So they are actually putting and mitigating their risk to us. So same thing, we need to make sure that we are managing that sort of risk. Okay, so there's like 4 pains already. So let's move on to the fifth pain. The fifth pain is also something like the quality pain, where how do I put it? It's like it's not really important, but if you do it well, it becomes like it sort of push you up to excellence. So in Glasfil, I would say that our manufacturing, we want to give like very good customer service experience. Many people has already lost touch of this thing. Like a deal is a deal, after done deal, that's all, handshake, goodbye, that's it. But we will want to have that connections and the touch together back with our customers. So that's why I told you that we mesmerize on the projects that we have done. We mesmerize on how successful it is, how tough we have been through with the customers, and how successful that the products is actually with our customers. So we wanted to provide that sort of customer service experience. And moving forward, Glasfil will probably come up with some of the products that it's going to help customers going through a good customer experience. Meaning to say that from the touch point that you meet us up until the way that we deliver the goods to you, we want to have very, very good experience with you. And we want to treasure that experience with you guys, because you guys give us that sort of sense of satisfaction that we are serving you. So one of the pain that a lot of manufacturers have is they don't get to provide this kind of experience to people. And it's always a rejection, and it's always thinking that, okay, this customer is going to give us another pain. The customer is going to give us another complaint, or the customers is always we are not always doing good enough for the customers. So it's very tough when I would say a lot of times it's very tough for manufacturers to stay on that very good vibes and happy feelings. So one of the good vibes that I always have is because I get connected to the live audience, and also to whoever that actually giving feedbacks through Instagram, Facebook, and also LinkedIn. Those are the good vibes that I actually get most of the time, because sometimes when we get a complaint, we get really demotivated, and a lot of times that why do we want to continue to give the very good customer service experience, because we are right in front of you, very raw. A lot of things are happening real life, real time. Wherever my feelings and wherever that I'm going through, it's really real in the business, and I'm sharing it out to you guys. So the customer experience thing is always one thing that I want to uphold and be responsible for. So the next one, just maybe if you are right here now in the live, you can actually share to us, like, have you been through or purchased any products or gone through any service that has really, really good service experience? Like, what sort of customer service experience have you gone through that you think that even buying this little thing that you bought, like, gave you like massive emotions or massive, happiness that makes the day? I would like to have this kind of examples that we can actually give to other people as well, so that we genuinely get to share joys to other people through the service that we are providing to other people. So you can shoot some comments here if, let's say, anyone is there, like want to share a little bit or two about their experience. So the moving on one would be the last pain that I want to share. How long have you been already, Alias? Is this like almost, how many minutes are we there already? Oh, okay. So I meet the timeline of half an hour because Alias gave me a timeline of half an hour. So I'm going to close it on the last pain. So last pain is, which I think it's not only for manufacturing, it's also to all the businesses, SMEs, solopreneur, entrepreneur, mompreneur, dadpreneur, and all the manufacturings MNCs, corporates, whether you're listed or not listed, the same thing. It's actually having good talents. The time what we're doing are it's what you see right now. So the talent is always a challenge, but we really hope that alongside we actually have a system to enroll people into our company. So if there is time next time, I will probably share a little bit about how are we going to get through that system to get good talents. So but finding talents is always one of the huge problems, and very often now, even for Glasfil, we're moving out from having manual operators to having robotic systems, and also deploying slide with a very good partner on Industry 4.0. And maybe in future life, we can invite them to come over to actually share to you what sort of things that they're providing to Glasfil so that we do better. And a lot of times we are quite proud of having very good talents in our company, and they are growing. And me personally think that the growth is the most important part in the career life. And when I always want to emphasize that they cannot get stuck. So we most of the time during gatherings or lunch outs and everything, we want to understand that I always want to emphasize that they are not supposed to get stuck. They need to grow in the way that they want to see how the business direction is. So for Glasfil, we have a greater goal next year for 2020, and our goal beyond probably what we can do, but that's our goal. And our goal will be to serve all the sub-manufacturers, all the manufacturers and all the SMEs out there, to handhold you guys with a very good products manufacturing, and also making sure that there's a set of systems that is in place with us, so that you are feeling safe, holding our hands together and co-create a very good product, so that your product actually serve to provide a good solutions to other people. Because we know that we're just a small player in the entire logistic or supply chain management thing, but as us, we would hope that we are part of it, that it's going to be the one that can hold you guys together, or hand-holding process to help you create a very good product, so that your product actually builds something that is even better for mankind. I don't know, like mankind, or you're solving a problem. So that's what our mission is. So I'm gonna close now with probably a few year-end resolution that hopefully Glasfil will be able to serve more customers like who really treasure who we are. And tomorrow is Christmas. I would say Merry Christmas. I'm already feeling really, really Christmassy with like green and red. And Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year. I'll see you again in the next live. Bye.